We're back today at the car wash. It hasn't been going as quick as we thought. I know all of you guys have been waiting for a new video, and we just got slowed down even more. Sadly, we got broken into just a few days ago, and I wanted to basically show you guys what they did because it's really pretty ridiculous. All the effort that they went through and probably the amount of money they got out of me in the end for all the effort that they did put up. This change machine, I was going through and trying to like see if it's even gonna be operable and working. So I went to the bank like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I think I got $5 or maybe $10 in quarters that I had in here. Just kind of like testing things and trying to use the bill validator and get it to dispense. And so I had, come inside, I'll show you the changer from the inside. Okay, so obviously I just left the keys in here, right? Like this place was supposed to be locked up, and I don't know. An abandoned car wash I didn't anticipate someone breaking into, but they decided to come in. Okay, so inside this change machine, they made a mess. They stripped like everything out of here. This is the tool of destruction that they decided to use. Basically to get my keys out of the lockbox. I'm not gonna be putting keys in the lockbox anymore on this property because that's how they got in. Actually, I almost guarantee this is what happened. I think that they saw me come here one day and then walk over because I had like my keys in an inconspicuous place on the property in a lockbox, and then I'm pretty sure they saw me go lock up my keys because the next day I came and they had busted open my lockbox with this and they left this laying right next to it. And then they got into this change machine. So the first thing they did, they came in, basically stripped a bunch of the stuff that was supposed to be in here, like my bill validator and everything. I literally think I might have had like 12, so this is stuff that I put back in here, but I probably had like $12 sitting here in quarters and a couple of dollar bills that I was like feeding through the system to try and get it to work. So they cleaned house and got $12 out of me right there. This is actually some quarters that I got from, I've just found around the property as I've been cleaning up and everything. So I've just been stashing it back there for them if they decide to come back, I guess. But this is what cost me thousands of dollars basically. Even though I haven't been updating you guys a whole lot about what's been going on here at the wash, we have been slowly making some improvements. We had just barely ran brand new wire from all of our vacuum breakers out to the vacuum stands. So we'll give you a shot basically of how long that length is. But we had just barely got done doing that. We took the old wire and we coiled it all up, and it was literally sitting right here in front of me on the ground. So there's like stacks of wire like this sitting there. And it wasn't enough for them to just take my old wire and leave. They also had to go in, actually jump over here this box. Cut basically out of every single breaker and then pull the wires out of the conduit all the way to each vacuum. They maybe got $100 out of me, is what my electrician told me on scrap metal. And we're talking thousands of dollars to rewire this and pull new wire again. So something that I've already spent money on, and I'm gonna have to re-spend that money again to get up and running. But when I was getting into car washes, I kind of took vandalism, you know, just as an expense line on the business, because anytime you have something that's unattended and everything, it kind of becomes a target. But hopefully as this gets up and running, you know, just the cleanliness and the reputation here will kind of deter any of this happening anymore. But in the meantime, I got my little Simply Safe setup here. We've got motion detectors, door sensors and everything wired in so that at least, hopefully, I can get this car wash up and running before I have any more vandalism, graffiti, any more of this, you know, nonsense happening. Honestly, I'm not bagging on the city here that this car wash is in. I've told you boys before the name of it's called Magna, but it's not the best part of town. So we just got to take precautions, figure that out. But let me show you guys the vacuum stands at least for now. There's no more wire left inside these junction boxes, all the way up to the electrical panel in the equipment room. At least they left me all my screws on my new junction boxes, so I don't have to go hunting for those. But we'll be pulling new wire into these. So I guess that's it guys. that's all they really took me for, was maybe like 150 bucks. I had to get like a new chain for my, well, here's the downside to it. When they got done, they actually took my keys, so I had to replace my locks, and I had to cut the chain that was on the fence. And on top of that, the keys that were inside of the equipment room that went to all my little meter boxes, they took those too. And it's not like there was any money in those boxes. And so when I went to go take out those the coin boxes at each bay, wash bay, I just had to take a sledgehammer and just bust them because I don't have keys for them anymore. We're gonna replace them. So I don't know, just like a bunch of nonsense, kind of ridiculous that they did, but in the end, it's like thousands of dollars for me and $100 for them. So I guess they win in the end. Anyways, we're gonna get this thing up and running, you know, probably in the next 6 weeks or so, pending any more delays. And so go ahead and subscribe, follow along to check this thing out when it's completely operational.